Hey, how's it going everyone? Naoki, aka the Great Frokage here, coming at you with my intro video of my brand new series. And you may be wondering, what is my brand new series? Well, it's basically a Pokemon Heart Gold Randomizer Wedlocke video. As you may know what a Wedlocke is based on other people doing other videos like Maryland and other YouTubers, but in case for those of you who don't know what a Wedlocke is, I'm just going to go over the basic rules before I do episode 1. Rule number 1. Any Pokemon in any kind of Nuzlocke variant is considered dead, and is then put into a box to be never used again for the rest of the series. So basically, if they faint, they're gone. You can't get them back. No revives, no nothing. So that's why you always have to make sure you train to the right level. You don't want any kind of casualties. And pretty straightforward. Rule number 2. You must catch the first encounter on any route. But since this is a Wedlocke, there is something slightly different. Pokemon are going to be in pairs, like a male and then a female. The only exception to not catching the first Pokemon is like, say you have a male Pokemon. You must catch a female Pokemon. So if you keep encountering male Pokemon, they don't count until you encounter your first female Pokemon. And then, if by any means necessary that battle fails and you don't capture it, you get no more chances on that specific route or area that you're in. So you have to be careful, you have to stock up on Pokeballs, and you have to play it smart. You always have to maybe bring out a status inducer, hopefully if you get one, or something like that. And there are no genderless Pokemon at all since this is a Wedlocke. And there's a special rule called Dupes Clause. Normally, when you run into a Pokemon that you've already caught or is in an evolutionary chain already, normally that wouldn't count. But in this case, that rule is up to you. Like, say you want to do your own Wedlocke or something like that. It's up to you if you want to either negate everything if you run into a duplicate or have a second chance at it. So that's up to you. I'm gonna, for myself, for my challenge, I'm going to encounter another chance Pokemon in that route. So I'm going to give myself a second chance because I want this to be exciting and fun. Well, sometimes other people may choose not to, but I want to keep it different and fresh. Alright, that brings us to rule number 3. Of course, very important. Give your Pokemon nicknames so you can create a bond with them, because we care for our buddies, and our buddies are our awesome friends, so I want to give them awesome names. And of course, rule number 4. Your Pokemon are partnered together and fight in pairs, which basically means only a male and female can form a pair, and once it's formed, it lasts until one of them faints in battle. Okay, so once 2 Pokemon are linked, they can't be separated. And if a Pokemon on your team is paired with someone, they can only switch out to their own partner. Like, say I have one pair, I cannot switch out one of those Pokemon to a brand new pair. I must stay with that pair in battle. And then if someone dies in a pair, like say I have a Totodile, and I also have, let's just say, Furret, right? A Furret. And say the Furret dies. That means the other partner must avenge their fallen partner. No exceptions. That means, say, if Furret dies, that means Totodile has to avenge Furret. Now, I can't switch to anyone else. That means if it has to avenge, even if it's at a disadvantage, I must try. And if they both die, then that's bad, because then I lose 2 buddies, but then you can switch into the next pair. But if there's an exception, if that partner of the fallen pair lives, then you're allowed to give it a brand new partner from your PC, or if you don't have anything that early, or if something happens with your catching, you can add the next Pokemon you catch in the wild to the new pair. Sounds simple. And of course, the final rule, which is important. You cannot access your PC. Like, you can't randomly switch like pairs and everything. Like, once you set up your main roster, the basic rule is you want to stick with that team. They're your main party. Also, if no one on your main roster can use an HM move that is required for you to advance in the game, like say in Ilex Forest, you need cut. If you can't find anyone with HM of cut in your main roster, then you can switch out your pair for 1 or 2 Pokemon that can learn cut. But they can, here's the important thing, they cannot battle. They are only there for using the HM move until someone on your main roster can. And then when someone on your main roster can learn the required HM move, the substitute must be put back in the PC immediately. If there is no one in your party or PC that can learn the required HM move that you need, then you're allowed to backtrack to a route to find a Pokemon that can learn the HM move, then switch out a pair. Because you can't just switch out one, you must switch out a pair to add that specific Pokemon. And then you can advance in the game, and of course, until you can find someone on your main roster to learn it. Then you switch. So, those are the basic rules for a Pokemon Wedlocke. And of course, in this case, in my case, I always like to keep it interesting and unexpected. I want to randomize everything. I've randomized everything in this. Just like the wild Pokemon, the trainers and everything are still the same. But I'm going to just like randomize all my encounters because it's just more interesting that way. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this short little intro video. And of course, keep a lookout for the first episode right after it. And I hope you enjoy it. And of course, if you do, be sure to show me how awesome you guys are. Hit the like button. And also, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys soon for, possibly right after this, episode 1 of my Pokemon Heart Gold Randomizer Wedlocke. Alright, peace out, guys.